there's a level of authenticity that's just not there. Like for instance, you just yawned just a minute ago. It's a different time zone and all those things, right? That's a version of a limp.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So how you realize, Steven, that in order to succeed in the as an entrepreneur, you actually have to work on yourself, and you have to change or rewire the way that you behave, that you act. You need to find your own way to release this negative emotion. Could be meditation, could be playing basketball. I like to go for a walk, for example. That works very good for me. Yeah, to see green and to walk.
Yeah.
So when do you find out, Steven? Because look, let's face it, most of the entrepreneurs, they think that they are perfect. They have a big ego. They don't need help,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna change anything because they are perfect. So how you navigate that, and how you discover this also for yourself? Because for you to be helping others in that field, um, you have to have your internal journey and figure it out for yourself. So when this internal journey start and what happened?
Oh, there that you have so many. You asked like 4 questions there, and I want to answer every one of them. Let's start with this. If you can meet an entrepreneur and you can see their limp, but you see that the limp is not really affecting their ability to have like self-awareness, situational awareness, and really build a team, that's one that you can trust. If you meet an entrepreneur and they appear to not have a limp, it's like, there's a level of authenticity that's just not there. Like for instance, you just yawned just a minute ago. It's a different time zone and all those things, right? That's a version of a limp. If you had before the podcast, taken some sort of medication that would have made you like a bunch of caffeine pills, now you're masking the limp and you're less authentic. The fact that you yawned, that's no big deal. I didn't take offense to it. I went, a real person. Human people. You know what I mean? A real person. And so that alone is just like a little micro expression of saying that I'm not a robot. I'm a real person, and I have self and situational awareness. Okay. So the limp piece. Unfortunately, I was a classic. I'm not only the founder of Switchback, I'm also its #1 client.
Wow.
And so I probably grew up like I grew up like in an ethnic family with cousins that I could go through the farm fields to visit. Like just
Wow.
picture that. Like we could just hop the fences and visit each other. It was a magical moment. And I was likable beyond likable. Like I was really likable. And then by age 5 and 6 and 7, it was discovered that I couldn't read. And so now I had the battle of the brains. Which is my true identity? My likable, soft skills, emotional intelligence, or my inability to track letters and words and numbers and to be able to put them into a sequence in my brain. So that was the battle of the brain. Am I brilliant, a gift of God to the world, or am I that other person? And that battle really created havoc in my life. And for many, many years, I was that entrepreneur that focused on my strengths and made fun of my weakness. And so even early in business, I made fun of my accountant. I made fun of my lawyer. I mocked my bookkeeper. And I would even sabotage their expertise because they had a skill set that I didn't have. I couldn't capture the data. I couldn't see it. I couldn't read the contract. I mean, I could read, right? I have a graduate degree, but I couldn't read for comprehension. My mind would fall asleep. I would become distracted. And so instead of saying the power of success is in team, I had like, I'll backtrack for a second. I bet you in like 3rd grade, I was at a crossroads in my life. because we were in a country, in a rural setting, like a country school, where one of my friends almost burned the school down. So it's one of those situations. So I had the choice to either go a life of crime, because that's one way you cover up a weakness, is you join a gang, or a life as the class clown. And those were my two: overcompensation out of an acute sense of lack. I had this major X in my life who've used that language. No one was sorting it out for me. Who knew that it would have taken 4 days to sort it out with someone that knew neuroscience back in the day? And from 40 to 44, it took me 4 years to do the same work. Exactly the same work that I could have done as a 10-year-old in 4 days, to rewire my brain to be able to do what's called visual closure. It took me 4 years of being on a balance board and throwing bean bags and crying and tracking with my left finger across the page and learning, how to capture and not being distracted, and having literally rose-colored glasses to reduce stimulation. Like 4 years of pretty serious work. That was so neuroplasticity is easier when you're younger. It's harder as you get older. Okay, so criminal life or the class clown. So I chose the class clown. And that served me well. But when I became a business owner, like you said, you have to be a generalist. You have to respect everything. And it was actually my wife. She kept on saying, Steve, you're being disrespectful. You're not handing in your homework. You're not sending in your invoices you're not paying attention to the details. When you write out the invoice in rough form and give it to the bookkeeper to put into the system, you are not respecting her. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? It doesn't matter, because everybody loves me. But people could see through it. I have a terrible story, I'll tell you. So this is like, I was a family therapist for 22 years because I was unemployable. So I ran a private practice, and it was wildly successful because I just couldn't put an email together. So I didn't know how I could be an employee. Like I couldn't be a social worker, like working for the government.
You cannot work for anybody. Yeah.
So I needed somebody else to always help me. So my wife was the one that sort of edited my work for me, right? So bless her soul. But now she doesn't edit my work anymore because people can change. You can really So I was like this family therapist for 22 years, but God's call in my life was for a very different stage long term. But we raised 4 kids, and they gave us time, and I just worked like 4 days a week, and we were really engaged with our kids. So the time came for the big opportunity, and it happened. I got into industry, and I find myself in Missoula, Montana, with 51 leaders of the U.S. Forest Service. They're one of our primary clients now, and them and all their other U.S. federal, agencies. They all love us, right? So we're working with Region 1, and so they have about 6,000 employees, and each one of the people in the room probably manage like 200 people, and we're facilitating and dripping our training into a 5-day process. And it's day 3, and I'm getting bored. They're like, it's such corporate talk. And I think, man, my back brain, the one that sabotages my life, thinks we need to spice things up. My front brain says, no, you don't. You just need to behave yourself. You have to respect the process. My back brain says, no, you need to spice things up. And so the battle of the brains, I'm not aware of it because it's pretty subconscious, unconscious. I end up perfect timing. The CFO says something, and I go, here's the comeback. And I blurted it out, and it was disrespectful. It was really bad. And immediately I was swamped in like heat, like I just melted the room, like and I was just burning. And my business partner's like, what have you done to us, Steven Falk? You're so reckless. That self-regulation piece, right? I lost we were tired. I was bored. I lost self-regulation for a moment, right? So the meeting went on for another about 15 minutes, and there was a pause. And because we were facilitators, I said, I'm not proud of this, but I said, because I did something really bad in public, I need to process this in public. I'm sorry to step into your meeting, but first of all, I need to apologize to the individual. I'm really sorry. What I said was rude, disrespectful, and completely offside. I would like to take it offside with you if at all possible at some point just to talk it through. But to the room, I also disrespected the whole room. And they're like, yes, you did.
Oh, wow.
But then you know what they did? 51 of them. They said, oh, Steve, I wonder what X you landed on. What buried memory triggered you to do this crazy thing? I'm going, hey, hold on a second. We're the experts teaching you how to self-regulate. And so they flipped the room on me. And it was amazing. They said, no, we're going to take our time here because this is a good learning moment. Really good learning moment. We accept your apology. People make mistakes. That's fine. People make mistakes. And you made a mistake. And you admitted to it. But let's get to the bottom of this. So everybody, what do you think's going on in Steve's back brain? Why did he do that stupid thing?
Wow.
Really bad. This one quiet lady that hadn't said anything the whole like 3 days of the meetings already. She's just one of these, like, you can see like she's pure and clean. Like she's not operating it with ego, but she's also doesn't need to, she doesn't have any peacock feathers. She's not trying to do anything spectacular. So they're kicking around different ideas. She says, Steve, I think I've got it. And the whole room, you know how the room goes quiet at these moments? Oh. Or like you could just, she goes, and she didn't have to raise her voice, goes, Steve, you still believe that we hire you because you're funny, energetic, and likable. I said, okay. And she goes, but here it is. The primary reason we hire you, because we charge them a lot of money, we hire you because you're smart. I turned into a 7-year-old.
Wow.
Like the first time I got 3 out of 10 on a spelling test. And something in my DNA just went, this is the number 2. The power of success is in team. I could tell myself that 1,000 times. I could manifest it in front of a mirror. My wife could tell me, but she's too close to the situation. My mom could tell me she loves me. My dad could tell me he loves me. Some random person in Missoula, Montana, at a leadership meeting where I'm raw. I've just exposed myself. So that the gateway into my mind is fully open right now. We can do that at our conference. That'd be amazing to open that gateway in real time and then help people in that moment. It's more powerful than hypnosis. So the gateway was open, and she just said, "You think we hire you? We hire you because you're funny. We appreciate that you're funny. We hire you because you're smart." And I'm telling you, from a neuroscience, biological, spiritual point of view, it just went. I have never been the same. So how do we rewire our brains? We have to be willing to accept the fact that every single one of us walks with a limp. Mine was obvious. It was some version of dyslexia. Number 2, we have to be hungry to find team, sometimes random team in East Africa, sometimes a leader from Missoula, Montana. Sometimes it's your wife, it's whoever. But we have to accept the fact that our team is telling us the truth and they give us feedback.
Follow us for more interviews with the world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.